Welcome back. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about sets in Python. Stay with me until the end and you will understand what sets are, when to use them, and the most important operations you need as a beginner. So what is a set? A set is simply a collection of unique items. Unlike a list, sets automatically remove duplicate values. Sets are also unordered, which means the elements don't have fixed positions as in lists. So you can't access them using indexes. Creating a set is very simple. There are two ways to do this. I could do my set equals set. This gives me an empty set. Or I could do my set equals with empty curly braces. This is how to construct a set in Python. Now, look at this expression. Suppose I have 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. I said earlier that sets only store unique elements. Let's try printing this set and let's see what we get. 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can notice that the duplicate 2's have been removed from the set. Another way I could create the same set is by using the set operator. In that case, I need a list. So let's say my list is this in square brackets. Suppose I already had a list and this time I wanted to create a set. My set becomes set operator with a list in the parentheses. This time I'm going to have 2, 3, 4, and 5 as my set. So two ways, creating a set from a list or creating it directly using curly braces. Now let's look at the main characteristics of sets. First, as I said earlier, sets do not allow duplicate values. Second, sets are unordered. That is, I can't index elements in the set. If this was a list, 2 is going to have position 0, 3 position 1, and so on. Those positions are fixed, but then for sets, I can't identify the elements with fixed positions. Now let's try adding elements to my set. Suppose I now have a set of 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I wanted to add the number 6, all I have to do is my set.add 6. If I hit run, I now have 6 added to my set. Now let's say I wanted to add multiple numbers, about 20 numbers. I can't type my set.add 20 different times. That would be inefficient. So in that case, I use a method called update. So let's say my set.update, and I pass in a list, let's say 7, 8, 9, 89. If I hit run, I'm going to have my set together with 7, 8, 9, 89. So we use update when we have so many items to add to our set. Now, suppose I wanted to remove an element from the set. There are two commonly used methods. I could do my set.remove, then I enter the specific elements, let's say 89. So I want to discard 89 from my set. So I now have 89 out of the set. There is another thing I could do. I could use discard instead of remove. So I could still say my set.discard 89. Let me comment this out. I'll explain the difference between remove and discard in a few seconds. If I hit run this time, I have 89 taken out of the set. Now let's say instead of 89, let me comment this out and rerun my code so that I get the original set. So in the original set, I had 89. Let's say in the process of typing discard 89, I make a mistake and I type discard 98. 98 is clearly not in the set. Let's run this and let's see what happens. I have my same set with 89. Alright, so we talked about remove and discard. And then we said that you are going to use a remove whenever you want to delete a specific item. But then one problem with this remove method is it's going to raise an error if the item doesn't exist. So for example, we don't have 98 in our list. So if I try to remove 98 from the list, let's see what happens. So it throws an error because 98 isn't in our list. So we are going to use discard whenever we want to remove an item and then we are not sure whether or not that item exists in our list. So in that case, we are going to use discard. So let's comment this out. And let me run this with a discard. So if I hit run, I still have my list without 98 because 98 was already absent from the list. So nothing happens. But then if I did the same thing with the remove, it's going to throw an error. So one of the biggest advantages of working with sets is in performing mathematical set operations. So we have the union, we have intersection, we have difference. So it's just the normal functions they perform in mathematics. So if I say set A dot union set B, it's just going to combine all the unique elements from the two sets. In the same way, if I say set A dot intersection set B, it's going to return only the elements that both sets have in common. All right, so we'll do a little bit practice. I already have my set. Let's call this my set 2. So my set 2 is going to have all numbers, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5. So already we know that 2, 3, 4, 5 are present in my set. So I'm just going to do my set dot intersection my set 2. So I'll print this out and then we see what we get for answer. Alright, so I can comment this one out. So if I hit run, I'm going to have 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the only elements which exist in my set 2 and also in my set. So you can research about other methods that can be used to perform mathematical set operations. So one practical use of sets is to remove duplicates from a list. So let's say I had a list with so many duplicates. I'm just going to convert that list into a set to take the duplicates out and then from the sets back to a list. But then you have to remember that because sets are unordered, they do not support indexing. So if I convert from my list to the sets, there will be a trade-off, which is I'm going to lose the orderliness in the list. So although I'm taking away duplicates, I'm destroying the order that existed in the list. And that's the foundation of sets in Python. You now know how to create them, their key characteristics, how to add or remove items, perform basic set operations, and use them to remove duplicates efficiently. Thanks for watching.
If this video helped you in any way, I'd really appreciate if you took a few seconds to subscribe to my channel. Every subscription motivates me to keep learning, improving, and making better content. Thank you for being here, and see you in the next one.